Oh yeah, let's go, baby. It's the Stuud. We got a packed house tonight. We have me, myself, Nick. We've got Ryan in here too. Say hi.
Hello.
We've also got Mitchell. Say hi.
What's up, guys?
And we also have Ben.
What's up?
It's a new guest.
Yeah, new guest. We got a list of topics tonight that we want to go through. Of course, we're not gonna go through all of them because that's never gonna happen. But I don't know. What do we want to start with?
I think we could get through all of them. It's pretty.
Okay.
Not that much. But if we're gonna start with anything, it's got to be the 2020 games, and
Facts.
Sword and Shield being a kind of a letdown. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it only has 12 hours of gameplay,
Yeah,
or not
definitely.
12 hours of gameplay, but 12 hours of story.
That's pretty ass.
I mean, literally, people are porting it onto their PCs already, and the game has come out for one day.
Well, they were doing that before the game was even released.
Yeah.
Or they did that on Switch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
That
except
that's horrible. That's
so
horrible, dude.
we tried it out. We tested this, and there's actually a soft block in the game, in the pirated version of the game,
Oh yeah.
that just prevents you from actually going past the first area in the game. So
Jesus.
for right now, there's no pirated copy of the game that's actually working.
Wow, that's a rip.
It will be out in a week. Give it time.
Yeah. The animations are also just not the best.
I think the animations are good. All right, I think they are actually I actually think they're good.
Were they worth nerfing the national decks though? Like I don't know.
Nerfing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think they're. No, it's not worth it.
That's kind of a yikes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think that they should. This is what I say about Pokemon games in general. I think that they should just stick to their original cast of Pokemon. To be honest, they have like
I
the
can see
iconic
that.
ones.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't think it's bad that they are trying to release all these new Pokemon, but the ones they keep releasing are getting farther and farther away from what Pokemon used to look like. Like there's
Yeah.
there's a couple of Pokemon that just look like humans now. That I saw from the game. It doesn't like I'd look at it and I'd be like, wait, is that just a Digimon, or like what is
A
that?
Digimon.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I don't have much experience with Pokemon games, but I would
Yeah,
definitely.
neither do I.
I would definitely say that I agree with you on this point because, like, I mean, you see, like, what the games used to be like Gen 4 on, you know, whatever you
Definitely.
played Gen 4 on. I don't really remember. It was like Game Boy, right? I think it was on.
I forget.
Gen 4 was
It's
on the DS.
something like that.
Gen 4 was DS?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, those games, they used to be, like, it's just, you don't get the same feeling when you play it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, also
It's
just
they have an old nostalgic vibe now,
Yeah,
but
that's
like
what I
they
was gonna
used to
say.
be really good games, and it doesn't give the same feel anymore. Like the new Pokemon games, they just aren't the same. That's why I say I think they should just stick to their original like Kanto, Johto, and Sinnoh region Pokemon, and I'm probably forgetting one, but they should just stick to that cast and then just make good gameplay. I think that's what people
Mhm.
want more than new Pokemon, just good gameplay. And also, they wouldn't have the problem of like adding animations in if they would just focus on gameplay rather than adding like material to the game. Then
yeah,
they could just reuse textures, reuse animations, whatever, but they could actually make a good game.
You know, while we're on the topics of new regions, can we talk about these starters for a second? These guys
Yeah.
look like
I saw
like,
the only
oh.
one I know is Score
oh
Bunny.
man, like
Scorbunny.
they could have put a little bit of time into there.
Oh, actually, wait. No, I know the tree one too. Don't they all look the same except it's just red, blue, and green?
I mean, Score Bunny looks like the most different, I guess. But I mean, I just think that Grookey and Sobble, like who got paid to make those abominations?
Wait, hold on. What are they named? I have to look
I
those
see
up.
a
There's
picture of
Score
it.
Bunny, Grookey, and Sobble.
Okay,
Groupie?
so what I'm taking away from this is that the score bunny looks like a bunny. The green one, the green shit, he just looks like a monkey. And then the blue one, I don't know what the hell that is, to be honest. Maybe like a fish crossbreed.
They
amphibious.
look pretty awful, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, they're always trying to like fit these like really
They don't
extreme
even
like,
look-
deadlines.
I'm
like,
not
to
gonna
make these
lie, dude, like,
games.
in the old games, like they would have like the most sick starter Pokemon. Like even in Black and White, up until like Black and White, I loved them. They're like Charmander, I loved. I even
Who's
like
not,
I
not
like I
in-
liked all of the Gen 1 starters. I liked all the Gen 2 starters. All the way up until Black
Yeah,
and
the
White.
Gen 1 starters are like the classics.
I even like the
Yeah.
Black and White. They had like Oshawott, the
Oh yeah, that's like the
the water
classic
type,
anime
and
ones.
the evolved one was so cool looking, and it had Tepig with Infernape. They were all so good.
And the
If
Gen 1
there's, like,
starters.
If there's
sorry.
anything that I remember from the anime, it's that girl who had Oshawott. What was her name? I don't even remember, dude. It's been so long.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
This is
I
literally the
remember
only thing that I can remember from those. But yeah, the starters, they used to be so good, and now you just have Sobble. Like,
Sobble.
imagine picking Sobble as your starter. What does it evolve into? What do you think it evolves into, dude?
I'm not sure. Should I even look it up? Is it worth my time?
Like, I'm pretty sure I saw like Grookey. So you know how Grookey has like, I don't know if this was like real, but Grookey, you know how he has like this little stick in his hand, right? Because he's a monkey, you know, of course. He plays with sticks, I guess. So his final evolution, I'm pretty sure it's like, it's literally just like a really big like animal-looking thing, and it's got like two sticks in his hands. And it's like, come on, dude.
Wait, I'm looking at the Sobble one, and actually the evolutions look really, actually cool. Like the final evolution.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I can't disagree.
I'm not sure if I'm looking at the right thing.
I think the Score Bunny one looks okay, but oh man.
I've seen that one. That one looks okay.
Oh, Sobble. Oh no.
But
No, I just don't like that. But I mean, that's just my opinion. But
you don't like it?
nah. Oh no, like
I think it just looks cool. I like the
also,
armor.
like another thing I just want to like kind of talk about is how they like the lack of starters just from like the other regions too, because
Oh, how they cut out Squirtle and Bulbasaur.
yeah, I mean only
Yeah.
the Charmander is like the only starter I think that they actually added into the game. They didn't even like, and that's from all the regions
That's
except for
because
Black and White.
Charmander's just the favorite from Gen 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they didn't add like Mudkip, like Blaziken, and then you have like Turtle, Turtwig, and then Squirtle, and all those other ones. So from all those regions too. So
Well, Sword and Shield may have been a flop, but there's other Switch games that are coming out in 2020, like I think Animal Crossing. If that's not coming out in the holiday season, that's coming out in 2020, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
The new
Yeah,
Animal
I heard
Crossing.
about that.
I don't
I've
really.
never played
That's gonna be my first Animal Crossing game, but I think I have high hopes for it. They have 8-player multiplayer. So
That's
Okay.
I might have to get that actually.
to be honest, yeah, I think
What is
that.
Animal Crossing?
So basically, you're put on this little island. I guess in this one you can like make your it's like usually I think you're the mayor or something like that. And
Yeah,
this one
you
you're
have
like
to
put on
build
this
stuff.
island. Basically the same premise as the other games, but
Have you ever played Stardew Valley?
Yes.
It's like that.
I really like it. Yeah.
I'm interested
Okay.
in it. But the selling point I think is the 8-player multiplayer. That is going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's in beta now, right?
Maybe.
Beto.
I don't know.
It is in Beto.
Beto
Beto O'Rourke.
Yeah.
Mitch, what are other Switch games that you're talking about besides that are good,
I think I
that are
actually have
coming out
a
in
list.
2020?
haven't
There's
revealed
a
a
couple good
ton.
ones. There's here, let me check. Let me check. It's a bit up here.
Yeah, Switch games tend to. I feel like Switch games are hit or miss, really. To be honest.
Well, I had a bunch of other games that were kind of coming out later. Like later. It's not technically a 2020, but the Master Chief Collection's coming out in December, like early December. That I'm hyped for. That's gonna be good because this is, I think, the first time it's like gonna get like remastered and put on the PC, which is really cool.
Oh, okay.
I know they have the games like on the Microsoft Store, but I mean, come on, dude. You want to get the Master Chief Collection.
To be honest, pretty much all of the 2020 games look really good. Like PC, Xbox. They're making a new Xbox and PS5.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's called Xbox something Scarlet.
Oh yeah, like Project Scarlet. That's like their project
Project
name.
Scarlet.
It's just gonna be the
That sounds
Xbox
like
2.
that sounds like a really cool. That just sounds really cool in general.
No,
Project
they're gonna bring
Scarlet.
they're gonna
Sounds
bring back the
badass.
Xbox 720.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Xbox
dude.
Remember when
720.
that was a thing?
I remember when I was a kid, like I would always like look up like next Xbox, and then it'd be like, "Oh, Xbox 720?" question mark, and then it's just, and it's like, oh, it's like, and then of course there's PS4.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah, there's always
Before that was
there's
even a
always,
thing.
for PS. It's just always PS4. Then the next one PS5. We're gonna get to like PS15.
Yeah, but then it's like- yeah, it's like Xbox turned to Xbox 360 to Xbox One.
Before they change it up,
What's
at
gonna
the
be
10th
next?
one, they'll say PSX, and then they'll really switch it
Oh,
up.
PSX.
Adding an X to anything makes it a ton more elite.
Makes it more valuable too.
Yeah.
True.
Like the iPhone X.
Oh yeah, even instead of saying 10, because they skipped the ninth one.
Yeah, they wanted to get to the X. That was the goal.
All right, I think we should go to our next topic. Recently, there was a shooting. I think Nick has more details on this. I think he can
Yeah,
details on
so it was another school shooting.
this. What did you guess?
So yeah, so and we're not seeing a lot about it in the news. It happened in California, but the reason why we're not seeing a ton of it in the news is because number one, the person used a pistol. Okay,
Mm.
you know all the
Yeah.
the complaining about, oh, you don't need an AR-15 or whatever.
Yeah.
It was a pistol. I don't know exactly what it was, but I know it was a handgun. And this kid was also a Hapa. He was half Asian, half white. So he wasn't.
So he's breaking the mold here.
Yeah, he doesn't quite fit the.
He
Doesn't
was
quite.
also an incel.
Probably that one. The jury's still out on that one, but probably an incel. We're gonna say that.
Oh, okay. Confirmed.
Okay, yeah, probably.
And
But-
actually, yeah, today he actually died.
Yeah, he did die
He shot
today.
himself in the head, but he didn't die immediately.
Jesus.
He
Sucks
missed.
at that. So he was in the hospital, and then today he died from his wounds. But
Oh my
Wait,
god.
so did you say
The
how many
thing is-
actually died? How many actually died? How many people?
I think
Two
it was
people. It was
yeah.
two. It was one black kid and one white girl.
Damn.
One black boy and one white girl.
Oh, that sucks.
and I think there was a few more wounded people. But
Yeah,
I
there
mean-
were I think around 2 or 3 wounded people too,
yeah,
which all seem to be recovering, not in critical condition.
But this
From
this
what
just
I've read.
seems out of the ordinary to me. You know, you always hear about like, oh, white boy, you school shooter. You know, it's always an insult. But you see this Asian dude. You never really hear about this in the news. I think it's pretty interesting.
Well, no, you do hear about school shootings. In the
Well,
news,
no,
but
okay, that's obviously not what
you
I'm talking
just
about.
Always do.
You don't hear about Asians shooting up schools.
You don't hear about the
Yeah.
Asians though. Yes,
Well, you got-
that's because there never were any. That's why
You
you,
get
never
the,
hear about it.
you get the Elliot Rodger. He was also a Hapa, and he killed some people. That was a few years ago. And then there
Well,
was
this
the
kid-
Virginia Tech shooter who killed like 30 people or whatever. He was also Asian, but
Well,
Nice.
I
Wow.
mean, okay, and also this kid like actually looks normal. Like people will be like in the reports, and actually though in the reports it'll be like, yeah, like he was a normal kid. Like we would have
Yeah,
never
yeah.
expected this from him. But then they just look not normal I don't know how to describe it, but they just look
Yeah.
like the oddball type. And this kid actually like looks normal, like a normal, respectable kid.
Yeah, you could
But
refer to
you
like
obviously can't go by looks.
you
I
could
mean,
probably
that's
refer
just
to the
stupid.
Parkland shooter in this
Oh yeah,
category.
he was El Goblino.
No, even like Dylan Klebold, he did
Yeah.
not look normal. Like
Mhm.
people like him.
I'm gonna post a picture of him in the chat. Honestly, you know what? He kind of looks like you, Ryan, a little bit.
He
If
does
you
not
were
look
if you
like
were
me.
half Asian,
He does not look.
I don't know. I don't see
I'm
see
not
that.
even.
But...
I'm
you
not
don't
even
see it at all. I mean,
I kinda
maybe
see
just
it.
like
No.
maybe like the shape of the head, or I don't know. I don't know.
I kind of see it.
I'm just saying, you,
I'm
Ryan.
being called a school shooter here.
Yes.
Hmm. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I see it.
I don't see it. I don't know.
I really don't want
A
to
little
see
bit.
it,
A
but
little.
I see it. And
I
it's
know, but I can't imagine
really
you Asian though,
uncomfortable.
so I can't really see it. You know, and
It's not uncanny, but it's yeah. So yeah, the apparently the Los Angeles County Sheriff said there's nothing really that stands out with the suspect. He wasn't a loner, wasn't socially awkward, was involved in school activities, student athlete. This is kind of out of the blue, shocking pretty much everyone who knew him. And he also
Well,
did it on
that's
his
what they say
he
every
did it on
time.
his birthday too. Well, not really.
On his birthday?
Sometimes- Yeah.
Yeah, he did it on his birthday.
Jesus.
Kind of weird.
That is really weird.
Happy
But
birthday.
yeah, this is mind-boggling. What possesses you to just be like, hey, it's my birthday, I'm gonna go kill people?
Well, I mean, he obviously had it planned out.
Well, maybe.
His everything that
Maybe he
Especially
wanted to
if
go
you
out
did
on his
it
birthday.
Yeah.
every time a school shooting happens, it's always premeditated.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the media just needs a good shooting. You know, maybe they sent him in. They're like, hey, it's your birthday.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, the conspiracy theorists at work here. Guys, the government is behind it all.
You
Yeah.
never know. Hey, I mean, you can
I
never
know
doubt. You can never doubt that completely.
Alex
There's always that-
Jones about Newtown and how he said it was like from the government and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's
well, that guy was
conspiracy theorist
blacked out,
bullshit.
so
Yeah.
Alex Jones. Government. We have the documents.
Always blame the government.
Turn the
When in
friggin'
doubt,
frogs
blame the
gay.
government.
Ah!
Oh my god. Yes. The more government bullshit. Yes.
I mean, you could go down that rabbit hole. They have been behind some stuff. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Do they actually? Are the conspiracy theorists already out?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes conspiracy theory turns to conspiracy fact. So,
Very rarely. Very rare.
well, I mean,
don't
you have
see it
like
often.
you have the far out ones. Those are the ones that you hear about. The ones that like the flat Earth stuff and
Or like the Bush did 9/11, but the people who
Yeah.
actually believe it.
right. But when you dig deep into it, you find some like weird stuff. Like, did you know that the I think it's 1991 bombing in the World Trade Center. Apparently, there was the FBI that was on this guy. And basically, what they did is the FBI made the bomb for this dude, and then gave it to him, and then he blew it up. But they had a fake bomb too. They forgot to give him the fake bomb.
What? No. You serious?
I am completely dead serious.
You're dead serious.
Yep. And there was another instance where there was a guy. I can't remember what shooting this was, but there was a federal agent in this car with this guy going to a shooting. The federal agent gets out before he gets to his destination, and then the shooter kills a bunch of people.
Huh.
Jeez,
Yeah.
man. What the hell?
These are like actual facts. Like they're just not conspiracy.
No, this is fact.
Okay.
Fact.
Well, I mean, also you can't
Oh,
just
boy.
put that on the entire government. It could have just been like these people were in with these people in the government type of thing. Also, could be like
No, they do that. They do that all the time, and that's a
Yeah,
good segue to our next topic.
Oh yeah.
of government
Bolivia and Hong Kong.
Bolivia and Hong Kong. Well, Hong Kong's a
Hong
little
Kong
bit
Part 2.
the
Hong
the
Kong's
Hong
just
Kong
always
and
going
Bolivia are a little suspect, based on their circumstances. We don't know if there's exactly federal agents involved, like the CIA and stuff like that, but there's a good chance Hong Kong there was some intervention there, right? Because I think there was actually there was a person spotted there that was like a U.S. diplomat spotted in Hong Kong, like right before the big protest started. So I don't know what that is supposed to mean, but we can get into that a little bit later. But the coup in Bolivia, this one's kind of funky. So Bolivia is kind of a backwater in South America. They're kind of poor, and most of the people that live there are like indigenous people, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not exactly like the almost like white Hispanic type that live in like maybe Mexico or parts of Brazil or whatever. But they are pretty resource rich, and that's important because so basically what happened is this guy their president Evo, I don't know how to pronounce it, Morales, was basically ousted by the military in a pretty hostile coup. There wasn't really any opposition to it. They just said like, "Hey, you got to get out." Because he was trying to go past his term limits and try to do a new election, but they said like that's illegitimate, and the military ousted him. Then they put in one of their senators, who's she's kind of cute. She's like a milf.
Ooh,
They
Just,
put
just
in
saying.
when they put in the
Yeah.
MILF.
She's
Oh,
not.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
not bad looking. She's
I mean,
not
she
bad.
looks 50, but
I mean, but like that's milf right there. Come on,
yeah, okay.
come on. None of you guys would do that. None of you guys would do that.
I don't know, man. That's kind of
And I'm not into 60-year-old women.
that's
but,
kind of out of my area.
All right. How about this one? How about this picture? That might be a little bit more flattering.
Oh yeah, the guy on the left.
Yeah, that was the former president.
The nice gentleman on the left.
Yeah.
So they
definitely.
they just put in this model.
Yeah,
She
she
looked
actually
good.
she kind of seized power herself. Like the military was like, yeah, you could do this. That's all right.
I wonder if they all just have like boners for this one woman and they just give her
Yeah, there's the
anything
military
else.
just like, oh man, if you could just spare a little bit of coochie.
They're doing it. They're really doing it all for the cooch.
Maybe.
That's why. That's
But,
all
like,
they need.
You can turn
There,
any
she was
man.
apparently the fifth line of succession for the president. So like, not even the
Oh.
vice president got in.
Oh yeah.
So right now she's technically illegitimate, but she has the backing of the military, which is really all that matters.
Yeah.
But there's massive protests right now, that are happening in the country, because I think something like 70% of the population there is indigenous, and the former president was like an indigenous Bolivian, but the current person that's ruling there, the woman whose name is what is her name? Janine Añez Chavez. She looks more white, right? She looks more like Spanish, not indigenous. So, but the reason why this is interesting is that apparently there was a deal that was struck between the Bolivian government and the Chinese to mine lithium there. And the reason why lithium is important is because it goes into electric car batteries. It's a very important
It goes into
component.
pretty much every
And it
battery.
also goes into phone batteries too,
Yeah,
but
phone
the car
batteries, computer batteries.
yeah, the car
anything.
batteries are more important. So they made a deal with the Chinese, and they canceled the deal with a German company.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't hear about this.
They canceled a deal with a German company for them to develop their lithium deposits. And what was funny about this, what was very funny, is that right after the coup started, and this woman got put into power, who I guess is probably more like West friendly, like the U.S. and Europe,
Yeah, yeah.
Tesla stocks soared. They went through the roof, and then they announced one of their big manufacturing plants in Germany. Okay, so
Okay.
if you connect those
Yeah.
two,
Yeah.
seems like they were anticipating this a little bit,
I mean, hey.
right? That there was
They're
going to be
just
a real
coincidence.
redone with the Germans to take the lithium in Bolivia and give it to the Germans, who would then give it to or sell it to the Tesla people, Elon Musk, our anime guy, and then it would be turned into cars. So isn't that great? Isn't that great?
That's a
how-
lengthy process. But
Yeah, this is just a very
that's
Hey,
like
long
that's just how the global
That's
system
interesting.
works. Right, but there's still some big protests there right now.
Oh, I can
Um,
imagine. I'm
The
sure that
the current
people are
current
just happy.
president, yeah, the current president, she also brought like a Bible and a crucifix into their
Oh,
Senate
boy.
building.
oh,
So
boy.
like almost as
So
like a
she's
big middle
really trying-
finger.
She's trying to bring religion into the government.
Oh yeah, as like a big middle finger to
She
all
is
the indigenous
revolutionizing
people.
the system.
Yeah, because it's like all the indigenous people have their religion, right? And she's like, yep, yeah, here's the Bible. Here's the
She's trying to appeal
here's
to
the
the
Bible, here's
masses.
some crucifix.
Like, yes,
And-
look at all the corruption, but it doesn't matter because I have the Holy Bible with me.
Yeah, I'm a CIA asset, but whatever. I'm gonna hide
Here's the
behind the
Bible.
big Bible.
You know,
Bring Jesus into
among
this.
all the stuff
please.
that's going on in Hong Kong right now, there's actually a story that I read. It was about you know how there's tear gas getting like thrown around everywhere. Everyone's gassing
Yeah,
the place
yeah,
up, dude. So there was a person. This just goes to show like there's tear gas everywhere. This person literally says that they were tear gassed getting their lunch. So they're going over to this lunch place, and literally there's just protesters everywhere. Everyone's tear gassing. It's like the entire country is under like turmoil. It's under the brink of collapse. It's getting pretty bad.
Yeah, well, there was it was calming down a little bit, but then the Chinese authorities actually they killed somebody, so protests kind of started back up again.
That's probably not a good move by them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the
Yeah.
second arc in the Hong Kong trilogy, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
when
you
they-
think it's
when,
gonna
when
end
does the
in,
third
in
arc come
another?
out?
And then yeah, what is your prediction, Mitchell?
I think it's gonna it's gonna fizzle out and it's gonna start up again,
I
dude.
think the third arc is gonna begin with the Chinese president.
I just think
being
that
assassinated.
the second arc is.
Wait, you might not want to say that too loud, Ryan.
I just
You might
think
have a
that
federal
like,
Chinese agent showing
the,
up.
the second
Their
arc
house.
is all about
Yeah, probably.
the revenge of fallen.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right. Get out of my room.
Well,
We're gonna have to edit that out. Okay, it's kind of the second arc is about the revenge of let's say a fallen soldier, and then the third arc, I feel like the country's either going to come to an agreement or it's gonna be in some deep debt. They're gonna be in some deep shit, dude.
Well, okay, so last episode we talked about this a little bit, but if you didn't listen, basically the reason why there were clashes is because there was a law that was going into effect in Hong Kong that was basically saying like if you are arrested in China and you go to Hong Kong, you basically have to be sent back to China. And for some reason the people in Hong Kong really didn't like this. They believed that it was like an infringement on their national sovereignty and stuff like that. So that's kind of the reason why there's been these big protests recently.
Yep.
But now it's kind of just turned into a general like anti-government movement, and that's kind of why I believe there's some CIA.
Yeah,
CIA
yeah. I mean,
fuckery
there's like
going
two
on.
factions now in Hong Kong. You're basically either pro-police or pro-rebellion.
Yeah. So I mean, it's crazy because I've seen videos of people getting set on fire. Like there was a video
Oh
of
my
a
God.
person that
Yeah,
was
I've seen those, yeah.
anti-protest, and he was just saying like Like, what the heck are you guys doing? You guys are so violent and stuff. And then somebody douses him in gasoline, and another person throws a lighter on him, and
Jeez.
he
God.
goes into the flame. Yeah, it's great stuff.
And
So-
there's a video on the internet about this.
Yes, it was on
Or
Twitter.
like live leak.
You might not be able to find it anymore.
It's
Well, you
probably
probably
like a
find it on
kind of
live
thing.
link.
Yeah, probably on live.
On
Leak.
Live Leak, yeah, but
But yeah, they're turning the universities into like basically an armory. Like they're
An
just stocking
armory.
up on different different kinds of weapons, but probably not
Yeah.
guns. It's very. There's not many guns there. It's not like
Yeah,
an
yeah,
armed,
they're really. I'm surprised. There's
not
like,
an armed revolt quite.
yeah, it's not peaceful by any means, but it's not absurdly violent.
Not yet.
It's definitely not peaceful. I would
It's yes, we have established it is
That
not a
is
peaceful
not peaceful.
movement.
Ben, have you been listening for the past 10 minutes?
Yes, I have. It was a joke.
Well, speaking of Ben, I think
Okay.
we should start talking about some
Do we-
something that
do
has
we
to
talk
do
about,
with
Fitness here.
yes.
Fitness? Fitness? Getting
Fitness.
fit?
Fitness,
Ben
yes.
is getting fit. If we look into the circumstances, Ben is a man of big stature.
Yes,
and-
yes.
He's
This
been
This is
beasting
true.
it.
This is true.
He's been beasting it. I gotta give him props here. It's been about 3 days so far.
So
Nah,
he claims he lost 5 pounds since he started, but
I can believe it.
When
No,
did
I
you
mean,
start?
a big-
When did you start?
If you take a big enough poop,
a few days ago.
Oh, I took a couple poops. And it's
if
been-
you take a big enough poop, you can drop 5.
Yeah, and-
All right, well
What
that's
was
not going to be permanent weight loss. Let's just say that.
yeah, I know, but I don't know. I'm definitely working out so far. Like I've been going on a nice diet, so.
So what have you been doing recently, like in terms of exercise and diet? Like,
Okay, well, basically, I've been working out in the mornings. I've been doing push-ups in the mornings, and basically waking up, before like usually I would wake up at like 6:40, and then get on the bus at like 6:55. So, but now I'm like waking up earlier so I can work out in the morning. I can like just do push-ups and sit-ups in the morning,
That's
and then
good.
after, and then at
eventually,
night.
good, not bad.
eventually he will be like 0 or
0
who is
pounds?
the other? No, 0. 0 the ultimate
Yeah.
streamer or slash YouTuber who
Oh,
lost
yeah.
a lot of weight, and also who was the other guy?
Greek.
It was
Greek.
Greek God X. Greek God X.
Yeah.
If anyone does not know, Greek God X is pretty skinny now. He used to be
He used to be large.
a big man.
He used to be like
When
400
he was
pounds.
screaming with Tyler 1. Oh yeah.
When he would scream with Tyler 1.
Yeah, he lost like 70 pounds. It was insane.
No, he lost more than 70.
He was about like 400 pounds. He lost a little bit more than.
He
than
lost
70.
Oh, really?
probably over 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
You see,
He was looking good.
I didn't know he was that overweight. I knew he was overweight, but
No, he probably wasn't 400. I'd say like high threes, maybe like
That's
370.
basically 400s, though. I mean,
Yeah, I guess it's close. But 400s is like you could go if you say 400s, it
400s
implies
is
that it's
400s, you're kind of getting into Boogie 2988 territory.
yeah, he lost weight
I
and then
feel-
he just
I
gained
feel
it
bad
back.
for Boogie.
oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Boogie.
I mean, being fat is kind of his personality. So I mean,
yeah, he'll lose money.
I mean, yeah, but you kind of feel
so
bad.
he has to
for
gain
him.
that weight back.
You drink my Mountain Dew?
He can't do Francis anymore.
Yeah.
Come on,
it just
man, you
doesn't
can't
work.
make fun of Boogie. He's like the most wholesome guy. If you've seen like
Yeah.
Let me smell your breath.
he has like the most wholesome videos.
He fixed his teeth at least.
Oh, did
Yo.
Yeah.
he?
No
got
more,
fresh teeth.
no more EU teeth.
No more EU teeth.
What are EU teeth?
All right. Well,
Is that
I
just
mean,
because
Yeah.
British people
EU
are,
teeth
like,
are just basically like
European people.
people in EU just they don't have good dentistry.
yellow,
Yeah.
yellow, yellow.
If you've ever seen like a person go up to you like, "Hey, bro," and then smile at you, you'll notice that the teeth is a nice shade of piss yellow.
Do the English
Okay,
drink?
not all. No, I feel like is it just? I feel like that's not true for like
No, the
maybe it
English
is,
on
actually.
average have worse teeth than most other Europeans.
We may
I don't
have
know
larger
why.
stomachs, but they
It's
definitely
poor
have worse
genetics,
teeth.
maybe. It's a small island.
Yeah, Darwin
It's a
was
small
not
island.
nice to them.
Circular family trees.
My man Darwin.
Circular family
Can
trees.
we bring him back to life here? Anybody?
Charles
Yeah.
Darwin.
Yeah, Charles Darwin was not very kind to these Europeans.
Yeah, I mean, especially with these people living on the small
Yeah,
island.
it's his fault, Mitch. That's like
It's
screw
Charles
you.
Oh, y'all don't know that
Darwin.
Charles Darwin
Give him-
invented the fact that we evolve.
Charles Darwin.
Yeah.
He invented it.
Because
He made Pokemon in real life.
Before
because he
Charles
invented-
Darwin, we did not
invented
evolve.
Evolution. Before then, people did not actually evolve.
Before
fast.
Charles Darwin, we were apes. Now we're Chads.
No.
Yeah, see, that's what atheists think. They think that we were apes, and then once Charles Darwin came around, then we became humans.
Well,
Or
that
something
would
like
be,
that.
That would not be an atheist way of thinking, because normally atheists do follow science.
Science,
Okay.
science. All right. Back to Ben, real quick.
Okay.
Back to Ben.
Yeah. So I think something you might want to try out is intermittent fasting.
Yeah, I've actually started today.
Yeah. So something
Yeah.
like maybe you eat dinner or something, right? You eat. I don't know when you eat dinner, like 7 o'clock.
6 o'clock probably.
6
around
o'clock.
there,
All right, and then you don't eat until lunch.
yeah.
So you
that's
just
probably-
skip breakfast. You
Ben
eat lunch.
already skips breakfast on the daily, but
Well, yeah. And then the key though is not eating after dinner. Right? Not snacking or doing anything like that.
that's
cutting that-
really hard.
Cutting
That
a
is
lot of that out of
insanely
your
hard.
diet will do you very well.
Yeah, a lot of getting a fit body is about what you eat. I mean, the workouts keep it in shape, but most of it is actually about what you eat.
Yeah, when you're trying to burn fat, it's really all about the cardio.
What you eat matters a lot, probably the most, because
When you're
exercising,
You're losing.
exercising just helps you maintain whatever weight you
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
and
exactly.
It helps you build muscle to. It's basically trading off fat for muscle.
Pretty much.
Dieting is the
Just losing
means
it.
behind losing weight. Yeah.
But you need both, honestly, if you're trying to lose weight.
Yeah, you do need
Because
both.
cardio is a pretty good fat burner.
Well, it's
and-
you only need both if you're trying to get physically fit.
Yeah,
sure.
if you
Yeah.
don't exercise
at
as
the
well,
same
I don't
time.
care if it's cardio, but if you don't burn those fats, even if you're eating, less, you're still going to build up fat, but not as much as you normally would if you were
Yeah.
eating more
Mhm.
foods.
Maybe
No,
you should
for-
try a keto diet.
Keto, my aunt's
Go to
actually
the
on a
keto diet. I think it's supposed to be high in fat, but for some reason the science is that your body burns it. Your body burns the fat quicker when you eat more fat, but you eat less carbs. So you just won't have you won't have as much energy, I guess, because carbs is basically energy.
Yeah, carbs.
But it'll burn the fat off pretty quickly. I guess it gets your metabolism started up
Mhm.
pretty quick.
Wow, that's science,
That's
bitch.
Well, there you go. And I believe that in about 3 months from now, Ben will be a very fit man.
Yeah,
He'll be a
Hopefully.
I
giga Chad.
look forward to
He'll
seeing
be
it.
A Chad. No more pizza.
Hopefully.
No more Domino's.
I mean, as much as I want it, man. I
No
gotta-
more Big Macs.
No more Big Macs.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I mean,
possibly the toughest one to let go.
that is the toughest one for me, personally. But I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah, it'll probably be hard just because of all the times that we go to McDonald's.
Yeah. I mean,
I go to McDonald's maybe once a month.
I go to McDonald's a lot.
I used to go to McDonald's.
I
a lot.
probably go to McDonald's once every 3 weeks on average.
Yeah.
But when I do go to McDonald's, man, I go ham.
Oh, you get stacked?
I go ham, dude.
You're
I
stacked at the max.
sometimes, all right, listen, I'm I'm average size. Like I'm not fat. I'm kind of skinny, but like
You're not quite skelly, but
but like I okay. This is sometimes what I can get at McDonald's. Okay, all right. Picture this. Okay, we got
Picture this.
a double cheeseburger. All right, it's always
Yep.
good. Then we got
I always get that.
the 20-piece McNuggets.
oh, okay.
And we got the medium fries.
Yep.
But the key is the metabolism. All right, I was gifted.
I was gifted with the metabolism.
Listen,
too.
if I
Yeah,
had the
yeah.
metabolism of, let's say, someone of a less fortunate body,
Like me.
we could say that. Then I would probably be rolling in my own fat right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounded like a personal attack, but
What?
Yeah,
No.
it's kind of unlucky, but
Yeah.
Honestly,
trying to call me out, man. But
Kind of sounded like.
honestly,
he was
that would be
shading
saying
Ben.
that I eat more than Ben. That's not
yeah.
even.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yep.
yeah, I mean, at Mickey D's, I would go ham. I would get 2 B Max and large fries, a soda, and possibly some chicken nuggets if I'm really feeling for it.
Oh my God.
But now I'm just
He's a changed
normal
man, though.
Reform.
changed man now. I don't snack. The only snacks I really eat. Well, I mean, I do snack, but it's for like apples. I only eat apples now.
No, that's all good and well,
That's
but
fine.
the worst part about this is afterwards, after the big meal, you would, or not just you, but we all, just go home and game.
Yeah.
It's not like you're working
Mhm.
it off. You're just kind of sitting, and then after you game, you sleep, and it all just forms into fat, it's just sitting around,
Yeah.
Well, on the
Just
topic of
sucking all that fat.
on the topic of playing games, let's talk about these free-to-play games now. There's a lot more free-to-play games on Steam nowadays. I
You know
think
what?
that the library is expanding, you know?
The free to play, the new ones. If you ever check the new games and Steam, it's all like the free to play section at least is always terrible.
I mean, now
Not,
it's
not
really
now.
been
It's
good.
pretty. It's
Destiny
banging right
2,
now.
That's the
Destiny
thing.
Now it's-
Like
No,
now,
I'm talking
what
about
I'm
if you look at the new releases
what I'm saying
by,
is like
by
it's
random devs.
it's expanding right now. Like yeah. If you go to new and trending, you're gonna find dog shit. But if you
You're
go
gonna
into
find
like
anime.
if you go to top selling right now, you have Destiny 2, you have Warframe. Warframe's always been a
CS:GO.
good one. CS:GO, yes, CS:GO's free.
I forgot CS:GO's free now.
I mean, you have Brawlhalla, which is
Dota,
basically
Dota.
like Scuff Smash, but
No, Brawlhalla is a good game.
yeah, sure.
I won't. I'll refuse to let anybody change my position.
Well, I think
Yeah.
the biggest thing is that Destiny 2 is free now. I mean,
Definitely.
Destiny
Yeah.
2.
I've been playing Destiny 2 since it came out.
We know.
Yeah, you guys know I just got into it.
But yeah, you are one of many people who have just gotten into it because it's free, and I think it's a great idea that they moved to Steam, to be honest. Because
I'm
Activision,
surprised they made it free because just like the graphics in that game, just
Yeah.
like and how well it's made, it just like it
now
should be paid.
that Activision is not licensing it, they can make it free because they would never have been able to do that with Activision.
Yeah, of course not.
And now like they can kind of compensate for like all the like DLC because now at least it's free now. So I
Yeah,
mean,
well they can like the DLC will obviously be paid for.
Yeah, like honestly,
and
like
hopefully they'll attract more players and they can get enough money funding to make new raids, new content. That would be pretty cool.
personally,
and-
like oh yeah, sorry.
Destiny 2, when was it made? Does anyone know?
2017.
2017. Okay, so it's got a while to like the next rendition or
Yeah,
Whatever of
Destiny
Destiny 3.
1 lasted about 3 years, but I
Oh,
think
okay.
Destiny 2 is going in a different
They'll go
direction.
longer.
Yeah,
Especially because it's
Longer.
gone free to play. They want to make. They want to get as big of a player base as possible.
They're
probably.
trying to make it more MMO-like, and I
Mhm.
think this is the first step towards it. I don't know. A lot of people are like, I don't like that, but I think it's good. I think it still retains its first-person shooter aspects, while also being
it's
really
a
good
great
at
game. It's a great game.
being really like large multiplayer. You know.
I think personally, like Destiny 2 would have had a better launch. Personally, like if he would have liked it more if the game was cheaper initially, but then they added all that DLC and stuff.
Well, yeah,
Because-
that was a part of Activision. I mean, of course, it's going to start
Yeah.
at 60, but yeah, then the first DLC was, oh my god, it was ass.
Yeah,
You
Christmas
basically had a
sales.
world that was the size of my room, and then
$30.
you got some weapons, and then yeah, that was it. But the next DLC was better,
Activision.
and then Forsaken was a lot
It was
better.
really-
Forsaken
it was
brought a lot
really
of people into the game, including me. Like brought me back into it.
And then wasn't Black Forge not that good?
So
Or-
Black Armory was kind of
Or
underwhelming.
Black Army, yeah.
That was kind of that was basically Curse of Osiris levels of underwhelmingness, but it was like 1/4 of the price, so it didn't feel like I was getting robbed because it was part of the season pass. So that's all fine and dandy. But a lot of these free to play games, like I don't have a problem with having to buy like in-game stuff. Like recently, I just bought some in-game currency, which is kind of looked down upon, but I don't mind
I mean,
shelling
not
out.
if it's cosmetic. not if
Yeah,
it's for
exactly. I don't mind shelling
You
out
have
my
a
money.
job and
to
you
Bungie.
pay for your own stuff in a game. Like nobody cares.
Yeah,
what you
like
buy.
Bungie, I think is a very good developer. Now that they're part of Activision, I think they're going to make much better stuff.
I mean, if anything, it's just supporting a dev that you like,
Yeah, like
which is a great thing to do.
Bungie.
That's
I
what
see like a
promotes
lot of
better games.
the trends with the free to play games. That's what brings them in. I mean, I hate to use this example, but Fortnite. It's been free to play for how long? 2 years,
Fortnite
Yeah.
Battle Bus, Fortnite Battle Bus.
They're
and
making so much money on the skins
they've
and
made
stuff.
billions off cosmetics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's because little kids just are obsessed with the cosmetics for some
Yes,
odd
well,
reason.
John
that
Wick.
was due to a hype wave, but games like Warframe, it launched in 2013. That's still going on strong. I think the free-to-play games last much longer on average.
Not true, not true. Oh, maybe actually, okay. If you're talking about on average,
I'm talking about on average. I know there are other
Um,
free-to-play games like World of Warcraft,
like,
whatever.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like
But-
Yeah,
MMO
WoW died.
paid subscriptions.
But I know that there's
WoW
like
died, but it was revitalized with the WoW Classic kind of, and they actually
They had a
just
new
released
expansion.
an expansion, or not released, but they
And then they had that
gave
movie.
the trailer for the expansion.
Oh yeah, Warcraft. That was a horrible movie. But
Oh yeah,
Well, I think I bet it
Oh,
bet it
yeah.
brought in, if anything.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Warcraft.
maybe-
That was kind
maybe.
of not good. That was
yeah, there is. If you look at trends, it actually shows spikes of player count when certain dates come, like when the WoW movie is released. You'll see like the player base or like the Google searches spike for World of Warcraft, things like that.
well.
And
I mean,
but I don't think it's a dead game, and because it's been around for so long and it still has a devoted player base,
yeah,
or
it's
even
not.
if it's a small one.
It's not really dead. It's declined. Its peak was.
It's
just
way
so
declined,
awful,
and
yeah.
also with games like that, they have so many servers that even if the game is dying, people can all merge into like a single server to keep the game kind of feeling alive.
here's
least
my
in
point of
their
view on
server.
this.
like like RuneScape.
Yeah.
RuneScape is not even close to dead.
Oh,
I
no.
feel like free to play games just last longer because more people they add these in-game purchases and more people are willing to buy the in-game purchases if they haven't actually spent money on the game.
Yeah.
Oh my, when I was little I spent a lot of my parents' money on gems. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Don't even get me
wait,
started, dude.
okay, Nick. So right now, on RuneScape, they have 86,000 concurrent concurrent players. So people just playing right now.
Is RuneScape
86
free?
It's not. It's $11 a month.
Yikes.
Well, I mean,
So
it's
if
free to play.
Think about
but-
this. 86,000.
Dude, that's practically Wizard 101.
No. Wizard, no. 86,000 people is a lot. I think you're
I think
underestimating.
86,000 people were probably playing Wizard 101 at the time.
No, like 86,000 people is a lot of people for concurrent players. I know.
I mean, that's more than Fallout 76 ever had.
And plus, if you're putting the a price on like the membership, they'd come out to $953,000 every month
Oh my god.
just
What?
for that player, that amount of players
Oh
that
my
the company is
God.
making from the membership.
Do they even upgrade like the graphics?
The graphics, okay. So the thing with RuneScape is the people like the
The
graphics.
graphics are the aesthetic.
The graphics are meant to be 2007 style because the game was swapped. They basically made the game. They re-released the 2007 version of the game and made it its own separate game, which got really popular because that was when the game was better.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And then they just
Okay.
added content to it, a ton of content to it, and now it's basically its own game.
Oh.
So yeah, it's really not dead. It had about 50,000 concurrent players before the mobile release. They
Oh,
released
yeah, it's on-
yeah, there's a mobile. Yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah, they
Oh.
released mobile, and now this is where the player base
I
is
mean,
at.
technically, what I'm about to say isn't free to play, but when you have a game that could be free or not, that has free DLCs like GTA. GTA has lasted so long only because of its free
yeah.
DLCs. I mean,
Yeah,
they just went out
GTA,
like every 4 to 5 months. I mean, they haven't been doing it recently because
They
game
did the
is, like, what?
casino, which
The
was
game is like
kind of a
6 years
small.
old, I think. But yeah, the
Yeah.
casino, I don't know, but I'm not gonna get into that. Basically,
It was fun for. a
I
couple.
think
It was fun.
I think
yeah.
that the selling point of your game is to have free things, because I mean, if you have stuff that everyone has to buy, I don't think it's gonna do well. I think that free-to-play games tend to do better because it's more appealing to people who obviously don't have money. So I think that CS:GO, Destiny. I mean, CS:GO is already like one of the most popular games on the Steam like market ever. Like a lot of people, like a majority of people who owned Steam also owned Counter-Strike. Like CS:GO and Gary's
Yeah, yeah.
mod. That's like the two staples.
Gary's mod.
Gary's mod. I remember Gary's mod.
And Gary's
Oh my
mod isn't
God,
free,
that
but
was
it's
that
Gary's
was so
mod.
old. Like that was so long ago. It
You
feels
can
like.
get it for super cheap.
I
got
remember,
it for like
yeah.
$2. when it was
Yeah, I
on
remember like I was in elementary school and I was like, "Yo, it's $2. Mom, buy it for me."
I think it was $10.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
less than an expensive cup of coffee.
yeah.
Well, yeah. I like certain free to play games, especially Destiny 2 now. And actually, they are releasing Path of Exile 2
Oh, for real?
2020, I believe. And that should be a free to play game.
Well, I
didn't
played it for about an
research
hour.
it, but Path of Exile 1 is free to play.
I played Path of Exile
And-
1 for about an hour. It wasn't really my cup of tea, but I can see why people like it.
Yeah, so the thing about these types of games though, like Diablo and Path of Exile, is that the beginning of the game compared to the end of the game, they're just two completely separate things. Like the beginning of the game basically isn't even the same game as like end game. But I am excited for Path of Exile 2. It's the trailer. I was watching the trailer, and it looks like it starts off with like a bunch of people they're on like gallows about to be hung or hanged. Being
Okay,
proper
so
English.
like Skyrim.
But so then the executioner kicks out the floor, and then all the people get hung except for you, your character, whichever one you pick, somehow slips out of the noose and jumps over into the water because they're on like a castle getting hung. And
Oh,
I guess that's how
cute.
the game starts. It
That's
looks really
Cute.
it does look really cool in the trailer though.
You.
You have to watch it. Currently it was released yesterday, and it has 2.9k likes and 85 dislikes. So it doesn't have that much attention, which I'm surprised about. Unless, actually, this is the IGN one that I'm seeing. They probably have an actual release trailer on their main page.
Well, I think it's about that time that we talk about the month of November. All right, guys, what's going on in November? Huh? Can you guys answer
Well, that is the month that all the men fear.
that? Yeah,
The
It's
one that
about
I'm
that time.
still participating in.
it's about that time.
Yeah.
We're not talking
Continuing
about
to brag
that.
about.
We're not going to talk
I'm
about
kind
that.
of a coomer, guys. Sorry about
We
Listen,
have 2 people in this Discord right now. with
Okay.
Coomer profile
Coomer.
pictures.
If you took the pledge and you have released your feelings,
Your seed.
I am
Uh,
terribly sorry for you. But if you didn't take the Coomer Pledge and you released it, well, shame on you. But I think that it's a bit less of an embarrassment. I think that
I'm more excited for Destroy Dick December than
No. You can only participate in it if you participate in No Nut November, which I will be doing if I go all 30 days, which I'm planning on doing.
that's
Can we,
rough, man.
Can we just have a group meeting here at the end of the month and just slap the Coomers?
No,
In real life,
no, please.
Yeah. I just died. Yes.
I think that might slap some sense into him.
Yeah, slap the Coomers.
Maybe slap him with our jizz-filled
This
ball.
is just a terrible topic.
Oh, this is a great topic. I don't know what you're talking about. My
I-
nuts are super heavy.
Okay, dude. All right. This is a thing we cannot say on a podcast.
I have been making
This
great
is just
gains.
a natural podcast.
I've been making great
topic.
gains in my push-ups, okay, and my pull-ups.
Do you attribute this to the no fapping,
It might be. I might be getting.
or
my,
is that just
I
a
might be getting my
superstitious?
superpowers.
Is
I
this a
might be.
superstitious thing where, oh yes, because I don't masturbate anymore, now I can do more push-ups than ever.
You see, as the logic goes, the less you coom, the more you have pent up sexual frustration.
That's
Yes.
that's just a terrible way to
is-
look at it.
Yeah, but I mean, he's true. He's true. But like,
There's a lot of bro science on this that like it's
Instead of
basically
what is
think
bro
it's true.
science?
bro science.
That sounds like a Zoomer term.
I guess so.
Yeah, well-
It's basically almost like mom science, you know, like your mom sees something on the internet and she's like, I think you should do this to cure your sickness, or you
So
should do this
anyway, who's excited for
Okay.
Overwatch 2?
all right,
Overwatch
shut
2.
up. Are you ready for Coomer month?
Personally, Coomer
I'm
month
done.
is-
I'm
this
tired.
we are in the month of Coomer.
Then next month is Coomer
The
month.
next month is
Oh,
the
next
month of
month
the
is
Coomer.
month.
Oh man.
This month
well-
is Doomer month.
This month is the Doomer month. Okay, so for Overwatch 2, that's I decide I'm not gonna buy that. I'm not gonna put my money into this.
Yeah,
and then,
that's a big N.
and then for Diablo 4, that's the game I'm most excited
We already talked about 2020 games. I wanted to have my
know.
No Nut
for.
November.
And I never got to talk about Diablo 4. That was sad.
All right, why don't we
Because
both
that's
talk
what
at
I
the same
wanted to.
time? Why don't we both talk
No.
at the same time, and then we'll both be able to get our stuff out at the same time.
Let's not. I'm literally going to get ear aids.
Okay, so Diablo 4 is basically the next sequel to Diablo 3. It's the next in line in the Diablo franchise.
Yeah, but it's made by Blizzard.
It is made by Blizzard, and Blizzard makes damn good
And
games
did you see what the
occasionally.
Free Hong Kong.
Anyway, it's basically just gonna be the coolest game ever from what I'm expecting. And they have actual open world with multiplayer, and they have world bosses, and it's Diablo, and it's great.
Yeah, but
and
this
I
is made by
love
the same
every
people
bit
who
about
said,
it.
"Hey, you guys all have phones, right?"
Okay,
and
they
then
did
they-
say that, but that was a different development team. That was the mobile development team that did that. They were stationed. It was mainly an effort to please the Chinese community, because I guess Chinese people like mobile games. When they tried to westernize it, it didn't go so well. I believe I believe they actually did release that in China. I
of course they did, because China's one of the biggest markets.
Yeah, I can't be certain about that though, but I'm almost positive they did release it in China.
Well, it was produced by a Chinese company. I don't know if they made it in China, but I mean, of course, if it had any Winnie the Pooh type characters, it would be banned in China.
Oh, it would
Oh
be
yeah, yeah.
bad.
That is true.
Yes, it would.
Looks like we have some Chinese getting very heated in the chat.
Oh no.
Well, actually, we're about to reach the 1 hour mark.
We already did reach the 1 hour mark.
No, it's we're at literally about to hit 1
Isn't
hour.
it? Oh, okay. Well, and Stuud, if nobody caught Stuud episode 1, there's actually an Easter egg in the first episode. At the hour mark, you can actually hear one of our friends, Nick, come in, fart in the microphone before we can mute him,
Flatulence.
and then proceed to say, "I farted," in a creepy whisper. And that is the Easter egg from episode 1 of the Stuud. And if anybody wants, they can hear Nick farting.
Hey,
It's great.
Nick, does Nick have any farts coming up right now? Do you
Please
Oh
don't
my.
unmute him.
Do not unmute it. No.
Nick, do you
No. Oh my
do you
god.
feel any bowel movements? Oh, here we go,
He says
baby.
he's forcing one, but
Hey, Nick.
okay, mute him. Just mute him. Just mute him,
Yes,
please.
mute him, dude.
Okay,
I don't
he-
know. I
he's
want to
muted.
hear if anything happens.
He's
This is
He's
literally
muted.
all getting cut out.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's texting.
Okay.
Well,
couldn't- he said he farted
farted
twice.
twice. It
It wasn't loud enough.
Yeah.
He has pussy farts.
Ryan, do you want to close this out?
Texting someone.
Yeah, actually, can we get Ben to close this one out? Ben has not said pretty
Yeah,
much
I know.
anything throughout the entire
Yeah,
Stuud
I'm kind of
podcast.
arguing with the people in Discord chat.
In the chat. Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
busy man. So
Busy
Ben,
man.
Ben, this is you are the closer for this episode. What do you have to say?
Okay. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Thanks for having me on the show, I guess.
Okay,
no.
that was just. I guess. Okay. All right,
I
guys.
guess.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it was
Thanks,
most of the
I
time
guess.
me kind of
Thank you for watching this, dude. This is our second episode. We're gonna have some more episodes out. You might not see me. There might be some other people on here.
Yeah, we do actually have a lot of people, different people that are probably going to be appearing on future episodes.
That
I
think they'd actually be able to talk for an hour.
I think me and Nick are probably going to stay.
And maybe the
for
doc.
the most part. Maybe Akshat from the first episode will come and stay as a host, but we are not certain on that. But yeah, expect more people in the future. A lot of different people. There's like 8 different guys that want to come on and talk. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no women. It's just a
it's
sausage.
only the boys.
It's just a sausage fest.
Yeah, well, I think that's normal. I mean, please, let's be real. We can't have a Pokemon that just attracts people with their looks.
Okay, I'm gonna end it.
Coming.